GCN Show.
From Brisbane, Australia, welcome to the GCN Show.
Welcome to the GCN Show.
Welcome to the GCN Show. Coming up, we discuss how we can make all cyclists follow the example of Sir Bradley Wiggins. And no, we're not talking about beards. Plus, we also catch up on what has been some thrilling bike racing.
And of course, we've got all of your usual favourites: comment, tweet, and caption of the week, and wattage bazooka.
If you're wondering where Matt and Dan are, by the way, they're both commentating on Tirreno Adriatico, which is why I've been watching Paris-Nice.
There have been a few stories in the last week around how we can get us as cyclists obeying the rules of the road, because let's face it, when a minority of us don't follow them, it creates a difficult time for the rest of us.
It does. So firstly, Bradley Wiggins. It seems that when you become a celebrity, you can't even launch an eponymous range of bikes without the media sidetracking you and asking you for your thoughts on road safety. Apparently, Bradley is very law-abiding when he rides around town. The main reason being that he is a very recognisable figure and that he worries, quite rightly, that he could end up getting called out in the national newspapers if he rides like a knob. Which is probably fair enough. But it does beg the question, doesn't it, whether all of us would benefit from some kind of recognisable identification on us when we ride to stop errant riders from misbehaving.
Yeah, I don't think so, just because personally it's something that I absolutely wouldn't want.
No, me too. I'd
Just
that.
wouldn't want it. But it does make you think, how can we encourage all of us cyclists to behave in a way that we'd want car drivers and other road users to behave towards us?
Yeah, well, it's funny you should say that, because GCN viewer Sam Eder wrote in to tell us about the new harsher penalties for breaking the law when riding that are being implemented in New South Wales in Australia. Essentially, they're increasing the fines from $70 to over $400 from a variety of offences, everything from not wearing a helmet whilst riding to dangerous riding, which is an ambiguous term it seems, because he told us that a couple of his mates got busted for doing a track stand at some red lights. So not even riding at all.
Finally, and much, much worse, we saw that Bikesy UK tweeted this photo of barbed wire strung up at chest height on a bike path in the UK. Now, this is really grim. It borders on attempted murder, and clearly it's nothing to do with obeying the rules or not obeying the rules. But it does make you wonder, is stuff like this perhaps a reaction to how other people see cyclists behaving out on the road?
It is a very interesting question, and we want to know your thoughts on it. So let us know in the comments section down below. Do cyclists, all of us, need to behave a little bit better? And what's the best way of getting us to do so? And in fact, are the New South Wales rules just going a little bit too far? You can leave out the nutcase in the UK, by the way. I'm pretty sure we all agree on that one. Tech of the week this week should probably have been featured in our top 5 legal cheese video from last week, because with it you can save 6 watts whilst riding at 250 watts. You just need to change your chain, not just for any old chain. You will need one of these, a nanotube optimised chain from Muck-Off.
Yeah, realising that there were some not so marginal gains to be had from chains and lubrication, Muck-Off actually built a drivetrain test rig to delve into this murky world. And aside from bedding a chain in and removing the sticky kind of pre-applied lubrication, what the magic is in the nanotube particles, special coating that Muck-Off applied. And if only Matt were here, Si, we could find out exactly what that was.
Yeah. Crikey, look at that.
Wow.
Muck-Off recommend using gloves for that. Blooming neck. Anyway, although this chain is new on the market, Bradley Wiggins actually used a Muck-Off coated chain to break the hour record. But not only that, this is really cool, the brand tested a whole load of Dura-Ace chains to find out which are the most efficient ones out there.
Well, it's no wonder he broke the record then, is it?
Not really.
Didn't have any choice. The coating supposedly lasts for about 400 miles in the dry and 250 miles in the wet, so ideal for very special occasions.
Yeah. And they say that although the chain looks dirty, it's not. That's the nanotube coating. Oh God, I got nanotubes on me, mate.
Oh no.
I got nanotubes. Oh man. Go careful.
It's pretty cool.
It is very cool, isn't it? It's competition time now, and here is a timely reminder that you have just one more week to enter for your chance to win the trip of a lifetime to Flanders for you and a friend, including the ability to ride on the route of the Tour of Flanders on the very day of the 100th edition of the Ronde between the women's and the men's race. How cool is that?
Very cool. We're going to be there too. You didn't think we'd miss out on that, did you? Anyway, if you'd like to enter, there is a link down in the description, or alternatively, you can click right there.
We did have 6 places to give away, but we nicked 4, didn't we? Sorry about that.
It was never in doubt.
It's now time for cycling shorts.
We're going to start cycling shorts with the story of a particularly hapless cyclist in the US who has just found out that it's not a saddle manufacturer's fault and you can't sue them if you suffer from erectile dysfunction. He found out because he took them to court and he lost.
He did. Apparently it didn't stand up in court. Sorry.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
No, in all seriousness, there is actually no proof, definitive, that cycling does lead to those kind of problems. But we would just like to stress, actually, that if you suffer from any kind of discomfort whilst riding, then you just have to change your position on the bike, you have to maybe change your saddle, but whatever you do, do not think that you need to suffer, because you don't.
Right, that's so comfortable. I don't know why people haven't thought of this before, Dan. Although...
Now, on a slight change of subject, our friends over at Cycling Tips have put together a really great story about one of the hairiest issues of the season so far, Peter Sagan's legs.
That's right. So the world champion, who is something of a one-off, still hadn't shaved his legs. Now, there's been no comment from the man himself, or indeed from his team, but the reactions from the pro peloton have genuinely been really quite supportive, maybe bordering on awe, in fact.
Yeah, but perhaps the best reaction, I think my favourite reaction, was from former world champion, Tour de France winner and Giro winner Stephen Roach.
Welcome to the GCN programme.
Stephen really thinks that Peter's legs are disrespectful, but even better than that, he doesn't like beards in the pro peloton. Just doesn't like them.
Seriously, Stephen, what's wrong with beards?
No. To be fair, I don't think that leg hair is disrespectful to the rainbow jersey. I think that white shorts are disrespectful to the jersey, but anyway, we'll leave it there, shall we? Interestingly though, one of Sagan's sponsors, Specialized, actually did some research into the properties of leg hair and aerodynamics, and they found that there is a significant disadvantage to having hairy legs, up to 1.5 minutes for really hairy dudes, or ladies, which is pretty significant. I might explain why Peter Sagan has now shaved his legs, apparently, during Tirreno Adriatico. So there we go.
Going flat out for that first win.
Yeah. 1.5 minutes, that's pretty significant.
Team Sky reckon they have found a whole new way to get much, much quicker. In a really fascinating interview with British newspaper The Telegraph, their coach Tim Kerrison was speaking about this new training method which he believes could well yield results ahead of the doping era in cycling.
That is indeed really interesting, and I for one cannot wait to find out what they're up to, mainly so I can do it myself. Now, a couple of weeks ago we reported on the unfortunate German rider Arnold Fieck, who crashed, fell off a bridge and into a lake during the GP Lugano. Well, another freak accident has hit, this time during Paris-Nice, with the Astana rider Daniel Fominik plunging off the edge of a road and down a cliff, needing a concerted rescue effort, as this video shows.
Yeah, now that's just frankly terrifying, but it's also, on the other hand, a little surprising that it doesn't happen more often, especially when you consider the speed and the proximity that riders are descending. Fominik did fortunately escape relatively lightly, if you can call lightly 2 fractured vertebrae, which I think you probably can after that fall.
Off the sides of that cliff, yeah.
But, you know, get well soon, Daniel.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we'll end Cycling Shorts on some good news for racing, because the ASO, the organiser of the Tour de France, Paris-Nice and many other races, have teamed up with the German Cycling Federation to relaunch the Deutschland Tour, so the national tour of Germany, which is seriously good news, but it does mean the ASO will now have so many races in their portfolio, they don't even need the World Tour, they could run it on their own. Sod the UCI. Makes it quite interesting, doesn't it?
Very interesting. A very interesting 12 months, I reckon.
Absolutely. Power struggles in cycling.
But it'd be great to see a race in Germany again.
It will actually be very good.
Really good. Well, it's been a really big week in pro racing, despite some frankly brutal weather conditions that saw snow days in both Paris-Nice and Tirreno Adriatico. Well, Paris-Nice was actually only half a day after snowstorms stopped the race during one of the stages, but as this video from one of Katusha's onboard camera shows, the conditions did get pretty epic.
Yeah, they did. Tirreno Adriatico organisers, meanwhile, actually made the brave decision to cancel Sunday stage the day before on the Saturday, meaning that the riders didn't have to get cold, but frustrating all the climbers in the field, who saw their opportunity of overall victory snatched from them as the race lost its one big test. But I actually think it was a really brave decision actually from the organisers, and finally people are putting rider safety first, so you can't really grumble too much about that, can you? Can't please everyone, I suppose.
No, not at all. It's good to be proactive. And in spite of the weather, there was some amazing racing.
It was.
Nasser Bouhanni managed to lose and win a stage. On stage 2, he was relegated after a little too much contact
Bit too much.
with then race leader Michael Matthews. Bouhanni's past as a boxer does show up now and again. And on stage 4, he went on to win it outright.
Yeah, but it was the GC battle on the final stage that probably was what lit up most of our, weekends. Alberto Contador clearly wanted to win that race. He threw everything at race leader Geraint Thomas with multiple attacks throughout the stage, and it was only just in the final few kilometres that the Sky Rider managed to claw back just enough seconds to save his overall victory. Contador clearly wanted that. Look at his face on the podium. That's a grumpy face.
It's a son of can't face.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It's a big, big win for Geraint Thomas, and it shows that in his first year concentrating on just stage races instead of stage races and classics could well be a very successful one.
And he's training differently as well now, don't forget.
Differently to the rest of the world. It's time now for Caption of the Week. Last week's photo is this one. Not sure what David is doing to...
It's still funny.
Yeah. Anyway, the winner with 78 thumbs up at the time of writing this script was Cody Brown, who said this. If we move Froome's stem up here, he might actually be able to see where he's going. Yeah, I like that one, Cody.
I'd give that a thumbs up as well, actually. 79.
80. Get in touch, Cody, and we'll get your prize sent out.
Now, this week's caption photo is an absolute belter. Again, it is Nikolai Trusov of Tinkoff. And Dan was so excited about this photo, he's actually sent in a caption remotely. He said, I knew I shouldn't have gone out with Dan last night. I'm not entirely sure what he's referring to there, whether it's being bent over a barrier looking like he's being sick or the brown stain on his bum. But anyway, if you think you can beat that caption, and I suggest you probably can, then make sure you let us know in the comment section down below and you could win some GCN swag.
Thank you for your submission, Daniel.
Yeah, sorry mate, you didn't win. No swag for you. It's time now for hack/bodge of the week. Now we're going to start with something that is absolutely genius. Eric Carlson Landon has sent this in. He has modified his SRAM ETAP group set to make it into a light switch. Genius.
A remote control light switch.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. Wireless. That is a definite hack. A very expensive hack and a complete waste of your group set, but brilliant nevertheless.
Well done, Eric. Now, Mike Novo's spoke tension meter calibrator is just so far beyond my mechanical ability and knowledge on every level, I'm going to have to say it's a hack. Well done, Mike.
He has modified a crane load cell. Congratulations. I don't know what one of those is either. But yeah, it does look very impressive. And finally, David Evans has sent this in. His boa lace system broke on his shoe. So, David, you have definitely bodged it together. You haven't even used gaffer tape. That's like parcel tape.
Needs must. If you're out on a ride, you got to do what you got to do. But
that's it, it's correct.
It ain't pretty.
No. Now, if you want to get involved on the hacks or bodges, send it in via any social media, apart from Snapchat, using the hashtag GCNHack. And we want to see them because we flipping love them.
They're really good.
Over at Tirreno Adriatico, Zdeněk Štýbar showed his class and his classics form by taking a very difficult second stage, and in the process, taking the leaders, the sprints, and the KOM jersey as well. But behind him, as a result of winning the previous stages, Team Time Trial, BMC were massing.
And with the final day of the race being a time trial, it's really anybody's guess as to who could win this. Dan even mooted Peter Sagan, and this would be a great race to add to his palmarès.
Yeah, it would. We can't not mention Fernando Gaviria. Fresh from a victory at the World Track Championships the previous week, he took a stage of Tirreno Adriatico, which is a remarkable feat. He is a seriously hot prospect, that lad. Comment of the week now, and there's been some absolute belters on the channel, as ever. This one, under the top 5 legal cheats video, really caught my attention. Earthstick said, beetroot has proven ergonomic benefits. I keep eating them, but my saddle has never felt any softer. I'll let you know when it does.
I like that one. There are also a couple of crackers underneath Sai's weird and wonderful Taipei tech. This one from Maxmaz said, damn, that was really interesting. Didn't know you could grow a beard.
No, maybe he's missed off the M. Maybe that's damn, that was really interesting. Thank you. I'm sure it was.
I also really like this one from Joseph Casely, who did point out that the problem with the wooden bike that Simon rides is that if Matt were to ride it, he'd fall off, as it's built of many logs.
I think he just wouldn't be able to go near it. He'd just be absolutely...
Trip up.
Yeah.
Trip up 5 strides away.
Interestingly, it was actually good that Matt wasn't out in Taipei, because I took a picture of the toilet flush.
Yeah.
It's so complicated, he wouldn't be able to operate it.
Still
Poor
be
old
there.
Matt with his technophobia, he'd just be stood in the hotel bathroom trying to flush the loo.
The Women's World Tour carried on apace this weekend with the Ronde van Drenthe. Chantal Blaak took the victory in a 4-person sprint, beating Gracie Elvin and Trixie Warwick. Don't feel too bad for 4th place Anna van der Breggen though. She took the lead in the World Tour with that placing.
She did. The following day at the Drenthe 8 van Westerveld, which was won by Leah Kirschman, actually saw the much anticipated return to racing from Marianne Vos, who finished a very classy 10th place, having made the split in the crosswind. So I am particularly pleased to see her with a number on her back again. That is great news. It's time now for Wattage Bazooka. Now, first up, it's the Pro Weekly Award. And this week, I think we've got to give it to Alberto Contador, haven't we? He put in a vintage Contador performance at Paris-Nice. He didn't manage to take the overall victory, but he went down in a blaze of glory, didn't he? He attacked twice, dropping the Sky team, and only just lost to Geraint Thomas by a handful of seconds. But brilliant performance, virtuoso, I'd say.
Very impressive stuff. The GCN viewer wattage bazooka goes to Darren Dowling, who sent in this photo of his Garmin, having put out 1400 watts with a really impressive average normalised power there too. Nice one, Darren. Get in touch and we will get your GCN prize sent out. And if you would like to win our GCN viewer wattage bazooka, get your efforts up on social media with the hashtag wattage bazooka, and we'll pick a few of our favourites.
I can't get close to 1400 watts. Never in my career have I got close to 1400 watts.
Thumb dialing in more power from the batteries. It's quite a look. Mum's socks, Dad's shoes, and Granny's knees.
Chapeau, Darren. You deserve your wattage bazooka.
I got close to 1000 watts once. On their channel this week, on Wednesday, is the art of riding cobbled climbs with cycling legend Johan Museo.
Cobble climbs are woven into the intrinsic fabric of the Belgian classics.
On Thursday, it's the top 10 cycling records, and on Friday, it's the 3rd ever GCN quiz, and maybe even more great Taipei tech.
There is more in the pipeline, definitely. On Saturday, we've got...
This is the Cervelo S5 of Ireland's Matt Bramyer, who rides for Team Dimension Data.
Sunday, it's Ask GCN, so make sure you get your questions for that in. And then on Monday, when you fly with your bike, the first priority should be packing it safely. Then the second one is likely to be meeting any weight restrictions that an airline might place on you. And I find a big help here is to only take the correct tools and spares with you when you fly. So what are the correct tools then? Well,
then on Tuesday,
welcome to the GCN Show.
Dom's tweet of the week now. He's chosen a couple of tweets. I particularly like this one from Team Ethics following Zdenek Stybar's. That's really difficult to say with a bunged up nose.
Zdenek
Stybar. Dom's tweet of the week now. He's chosen a couple, but I particularly like this one from Ethics following Stybar's win at Tirreno Adriatico.
What's his first name? Zdenek.
Anyway, Ethics Quickstep tweeted this. Think attacking and holding the peloton off was hard? Try filling the champagne glasses of the whole team, followed by 2 crying emojis.
Good use of emojis there.
It's time now for Extreme Corner.
That looks proper
That
sketchy.
does look really.
I'm not
really
sure
gnarly.
that counts. I think he needs to do it again. That's pretty dicey.
Very harsh. Very harsh. Anyway, if you'd like to see Sai's video on the weirdest tech from Taipei, just click right there.
It was pretty weird actually. Or if you want to see behind the scenes with aerodynamic testing with Team Sky and Geraint Thomas, including a great tip, click just down there.
To subscribe to GCN, click here.
And if you like Tom's t-shirt, you can buy one over at the GCN shop, the link to which is somewhere on this screen as well.